why does it taste like, I guess it don't taste like candy.
Yeah.
Right.
Why,
And also the purpose of the detox in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, so the purpose of the detox is we have all of these processes for our most expensive things, like for our cars. We change the brakes, the tires, the spark plugs, the wires. We do an oil change every 3 months just to maintain the car. But we don't have any processes like that for our bodies.
Yeah.
This is the most expensive equipment we will ever have. This is the Bentley of Bentleys. And so it's just important to know and understand that in the world that we live in today, it's very toxic. And not just toxic from a standpoint of social media, but toxic from a standpoint of the food we eat, the tap water that we, even if you don't drink it, you bathe in it, and it's absorbed through your skin, the air that we're breathing today. You know, when you start to think about all of the things that, again, our great-grandparents never had to experience because these things didn't exist, but we're being exposed to. It just helps you understand why it's so important for us to take care of our bodies a little bit different and to implement these things that our grandparents used, these herbs that heal our body, that pull toxins out, that pull waste out of the body, heavy metals, mucus, acidity, etc. So that's the purpose of the detox. Why does it taste bitter? Man, if you got any Caribbean family or African family, you know that one of the healing remedies is bitters. And bitters are a collection of herbs that are bitter. And bitters are alkalizing to the body. So they alkalize the body, and most people are acidic. But the other benefit of bitters is they tap into our detoxification pathways. So our detoxification pathways are going to be our bowels. That's the one way we eliminate waste. Our lymphatic system. Most people don't know about that, but that's our sewage system in our bodies. It's in the folds under our bodies. You know, we got lymph nodes under our armpits, on our neck, etc. Our lungs, how we breathe out gases, toxins from our lungs. You know, our kidneys, how we get rid of uric acid through the kidneys. That's the primary, you know, one of the primary functions. So we have all of these ways that we're designed to get rid of waste, things we don't need in the body. But they become saturated because, again, we live in a very toxic world. And the herbs themselves are bitter because bitters, that bitter taste is actually coming from the heavy presence of minerals and vitamins. Minerals and vitamins are bitter. They hit that taste bud on the back of the tongue that nobody uses because we don't eat things that are bitter. But if you, again, you go to our indigenous countries, we eat a lot of bitter things, you know. A lot of people love spinach because it's not bitter. They'll take the spinach over the dandelion leaf because, again, you know, arugula and dandelion are bitter. They don't want to use that taste bud.
Yep.
So most people have immature taste buds. They love salty, crunchy, creamy, and sugary.
Sweet.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just whatever you train your taste buds to like, that's what they're going to like.
That's so true. I remember, I think it was the first show we had. I think you had made a statement, like if you were to put some M&Ms in your mouth, I think you said your whole jaw would just lock due to just the over.
It's too much sugar.
It'll be too much sugar because you've trained your taste buds to really not have anything that super sweet in your mouth.
Not that sweet, nah. Naturally sweet, but nothing like that.
Man, big shout out, man. It looks like we got here, is it Jaqui? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right here. I've added salad to my diet. Let me pull it up there. There you go. I've added salad to my diet, but have been experiencing a lot of bloating and stomach discomfort. What do you recommend?
Good question.
It's a transition period because what happens is that people eat so horrible for so long. What people have to understand is what breaks down the food in our gut is the probiotics, or the good bacteria in our gut. That's what breaks down the food. And specific bacteria break down specific foods. Well, if you haven't been using this type of bacteria because you don't eat raw vegetables and salads and things of that nature, it's just like everything. When you don't use it, you lose it. And so that transition period back to eating it, you're having to reestablish those good bacteria that are designed to break down salads, fruits, vegetables, things of that nature. So you do have a period sometimes where you'll go through when you start eating healthy again.
Yeah.
That all of a sudden your gut is like, oh, they they're not here anymore. And now you're putting prebiotics, which come from fiber, which are in plants, into the gut to reestablish the probiotics, which is the good bacteria. And so what happens is people go through this period, a little bloating, a little gas, and then what happens is the gut gets sort of accommodated to it, and now it can process it down the line.
So that's a normal process.
That's a normal process.
Great
there you
question.
go. There
Great
you go.
question.
And then here we got, man, Dr. Pop, this is interesting. Which country is the healthiest and has the longest life expectancy? Would you happen to know that? That's like a interesting fact.
It's a complicated question because, you know, what happens is well, I'll answer it this way. The countries that have been shown to have the longest longevity are the blue zones. And the blue zones are 5 countries. You have Italy, Sardinia in Italy. And then you have Costa Rica, okay? And then you have Loma Linda in California, okay? Because of the Adventists, Seventh-day Adventists. You know, they don't.
Oh, wow.
A large percentage of them are plant-based. Okay.
Wow.
And then you have Greece, and then you have Okinawa, Japan, where I lived for 4.5 years.
Wait, you used to live in Okinawa?
Yeah, I lived there for 4.5 years.
That's what
How
they
did I
talked about
not know
Ikigai?
that?
Is that what Ikigai was
Yeah.
talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, wow.
Because that's one of there's a bunch of Centaurians over
Yeah,
there in the
centenarians.
same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Wow. Hey, Dr. Bobby, really, look, he fully
You
initiated.
really, yo, Dr.
fully
Bobby, listen,
initiated.
I knew you was credible, but I did not know you stayed in Okinawa, Japan. Like, that's like my dream to go visit there.
Yeah. I was there for 4.5 years.
Yeah, it's really dope because it's not just about the health too. It is all about the health, but it's also how they spend time with family, what they do for a career, how they wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Man, that's really dope.
Beautiful place.
That's super incredible, man. And here goes the last super chat here. What daily foods do you suggest to keep chronic inflammation in check? I have a rare autoimmune condition called dissecting cellulitis of the scalp that can cause hair loss.
Okay.
Wow.
You know what's crazy, Dr. Bobby? I'm actually going to the emergency room right after they leave the show because I got cellulitis in my finger right now. You see that?
Yeah, I see
my
it.
finger's turning green. Yeah,
Okay.
pull the hangnail.
Yeah, one of the things I had somebody do, I had a kid with that one time, and you know, the difficult thing about that is in the finger, and even when you take antibiotics, it don't always get there.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
What I had them do was get a cup of like hot water, a cup of cold water, and had them put their finger in and go back and forth, back and forth. And what that does is it stimulates the immune system to come to that area of the body because you're shifting back and forth between the two. So do that as well too, because it actually worked for the kid. I mean,
I'm gonna do that.
He took like 3 different types of antibiotics. None of them worked. Killed his gut in the process. So he had so many gut issues. Had him just do that, going back and forth with the two. You know how they popularized taking these cold baths?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it's doing. And so going back and forth, lukewarm water, cold water, lukewarm water, cold water. It may help it stimulate the immune system.
This man's a healer.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy that somebody actually sent us a message about, so what's the difference between, what is this type of cellulitis they're talking about?
Well, she's saying it's of the scalp.
Oh, okay.
But they asking for like what food should they eat to keep the inflammation in check?
Well, I can tell you what foods are anti-inflammatory. So consuming foods like berries and like blackberries and blueberries, they have a component in it called anthocyanins. They're highly antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, so those are good. Drinking specific herbal teas like soursop leaf, very anti-inflammatory as well too. Green leafy vegetables, especially the bitter ones that people don't like, anti-inflammatory as well too.
So, see, for our folks, you got to really tell them what not to be eating. So what's the main thing they need to be removing from their diets to stop the inflammation?
I mean, the simplest way is, you know, if it ain't from the ground, put it down.
Easy.
I didn't mean to hit the ski.
If it ain't from the ground, put it down. I don't know about that one.
You know.
No, that was good. No, that's
Hey, there we go. But look, let's go ahead, guys. We about to go ahead and announce the giveaway winners because we're going to give away.
We do, but we got something from JJ too. Did we
What
talk
we
about
got?
that? Kombucha? Dr. Bobby, what do you think about kombucha?
Not my thing.
Okay.
Wow.
Well, what is kombucha?
Kombucha is a fermented drink that they create and then add flavors to it. They do it because, again, the perception is that it'll put healthy bacteria in your gut. But what I find is most of those drinks are like full of sugar, which feeds the bad bacteria. So I typically
that only makes sense.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Buy you a juice. I just bought my juicer today.
What they can do with the marketing, you guys send me the link to that too.
I got you.
Juicer too, but seems like they can do anything with the food marketing these days.
Well, I think it's just easy to misguide people. And, you know, again, like, I'm not saying that kombucha is horrible. I'm just saying most of them are just full of sugar. You know, and so my thinking is that if you're gonna do that, then you might as well just do like some fermented vegetables, like some kimchi